forgot. You forgot. I told you guys to record. For the last 2 weeks, what have y'all been doing? What have y'all been doing?
No. You said
it's the recording.
You said
I went to
could wait.
On the ship.
No. You said no. You said we could wait until Thursday or until Friday to record. So I was like, okay, yeah, we could do that. But now it's like you did it. Nah.
I didn't realize we're recording today until this morning when you called me, and so I was under the assumption that you guys recorded on Wednesday, because on Wednesday my phone went into airplane mode, and you guys, last I heard, was like, we're gonna record. So I didn't know. But I don't have any video prepared.
That's your own damn fault. That's your own damn fault.
That's your fault. That's your fault. That's your fault.
No.
I don't know. I don't know why. No. Really don't know why. But man, guess what?
Monkey butt?
I have something really exciting.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Kindle Fire here on the Carnival Jubilee, and you're listening to the Carnival Cruising Pod Castaways.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Cruising Pod Castaways, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything Carnival Cruising related. My name is Trevor, and joining me on this crazy cruising adventure is my good friend, Thomas Kennedy.
Wow,
how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
I know.
That was really old school, man.
I know.
Wow.
So I think we're good to play that music again. So
I think you shouldn't leave me for as long as you love me. I'm sorry for so long. And then you brag about it by putting me on the video call.
I did. I put you on. We were having dinner and I called you. That was fun.
Yeah,
but man,
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry I left you all alone with Jen. Was Jen mean? Was she mean to you?
Yes, that's the reason why we didn't do an episode.
What'd she do?
Record with her. She said she had to work.
Yeah. Well, I get it. I really do.
I mean,
but
of course, you said that you were going to put out an episode, an interview, but you didn't. So
I didn't. So I sat down. I was in the library on the Carnival Luminosa, and I was trying to get my cloud service to work, and I couldn't. And it wanted to send a text message to verify I am who I am, because suddenly I'm in Alaska, and I was not connected to any service. So I was kind of SOL on that. But that's all fine. I'm dandy.
I do have to say, you guys are a bunch of wussies. I mean, it's June, and you guys were wearing heavy coats and stuff, on a cruise, And
it was cold.
I know it's Alaska, but I had a friend who was posting pictures of herself by the pool in a bikini, and she lives in Anchorage.
It's probably a heated pool.
Well, she was in Vegas, but she was on vacation.
Hang on a minute. Well, I don't know, man. There were warm days, there were cold days, and then there were warmer days. There was only the very beginning of the cruise was cold. I'll put it that way. Yeah. And then as the days went on, in Ketchikan, they said they get like 20 days out of the year. They get like full day sunshine, and we got one of those days. And so it was a really nice day to be out there. I will say the cruise overall was a ton of fun, and of course I'm talking about FRGC number 3, the third. This was something that I was excited about since I heard Alaska, and
I really wanted to go, but stuff happens.
Yeah. No, and everyone was super excited. I did call you during dinner, and everyone was super excited to hear from you, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call him.
I was just like sitting there, and I was like, okay, he's calling me, about to show me, some beautiful Alaskan scene, and I see first thing I see is you was tomato soup,
Yes.
Okay.
I was having a good time.
He's not showing me a beautiful scenery of Alaska. He's showing me the MDR.
Yes, man. I will say it was fun. I got to meet Stephen Lyles and his wife.
Yeah.
And Stephen is like OG, like listener to the show. He's been listening to the show for a very long time. So it was really cool meeting them. I will say, Steven, you got a great personality. You're hilarious, dude. It was his birthday over the cruise, okay? And Amanda, he did not want, I guess, any singing to be done. And Amanda let it slip by saying, "Hey, Steven, isn't it your birthday today?" when the wait staff was around. And so, of course, they come over and sing him happy birthday. And look at his face. Look how happy he is.
Well, I can't see anything right now.
Hang on. Let me highlight it. I could highlight it somehow.
No, I can't see. Like you're just a frozen picture right now. Oh, there you go.
Anyway. So he is a very grumpy looking Steven.
Yeah, and, that looks like it.
This is so funny, dude. I thought this episode I could do like a little review of the Carnival Luminosa and of this circuit of Alaska as well. If you remember a while back, we found out the Carnival Luminosa was a hybrid ship.
Yeah.
So it is between the Spirit class, which is one of my favorite classes, and the Vista class, which seems like a really bizarre hybrid to be. But
yeah, you would think it'd be a hybrid between the Dream class and the Vista class.
You think it'd go Dream. Well, and getting on board, like, you can kind of see it. You can see elements here or there, but the ship itself is just, to me, there's not like I don't know, there's just not like little, like, every space shares itself with another space. There's not like a single bar that isn't in or around another area, basically. The piano bar is in the same area as the fancy drink area. I'm forgetting the name.
The Alchemy Bar?
Yeah, the Alchemy Bar. It's in the same area as Alchemy Bar, which is in the hall on the second or third level that goes back towards the dining area. So, like, your piano bar is just a hallway with people walking through. And so it's just a weird feeling all over the ship that way to me. So one thing I liked about the Spirit was, like, there's bars everywhere. There's like places you can go into, and it's separated from the other areas. This didn't have that so much. And so the only thing I can really think of is like, honestly, the library itself. I can't think of any others that were just separate and wasn't featured with something else.
Library was nice.
But yeah, the library was nice though. So, but no, so I will say this isn't my favorite ship, but it's not like it was terrible either. So yeah. I really like the decorations. It's kind of dated, but it's really nice. And then this artist that did all the stuff that's all around this ship, he did these statues of, it's like a woman that's laying down and she's, I guess, nude, and she's got a big old bottom, and I'll show a picture of it. But I kept looking at it and going, man, I want to hide some ducks. I want to hide some ducks. You can fit a few ducks in there. Oh, it was really funny.
No, dude.
Oh, well,
Did you do the water
other than
slides?
that, though, I mean, no water slides. There were no water slides, so there wasn't a water area.
And that's
really.
not a fun ship then. That's not a fun ship then. I'm sorry.
Not a fun ship without a water park.
Nope.
Well, it is kind of geared really for Alaska and those types of cruises. You could tell it's a former Costa ship. It's a nice ship. So,
well, I mean,
the best ship is Friendship. So,
French.
And that's what we have a lot of.
Well, I mean, it goes to Australia in the Alaskan off season. So, I mean, it's got to be geared for sunny and warmth. Because it's sunny and warm.
Yeah,
and
I don't know, man. There were no water slides, not a one.
That's
all over that ship.
That's some bull right there, bull hockey.
Unless they got some that they put up somewhere. But it was nice. Like the whole Lido deck had the whole like a top to it. The retractable top thing, which was nice. So you could go up there anytime and day or night, and it's a comfortable temperature. And honestly, like the lowest temps we had was probably the upper 30s. So, and that was like one day.
Celsius?
Fahrenheit. Yeah, Fahrenheit.
I was gonna say Celsius. 30
dude,
degrees
we
Celsius
got into Canada,
is pretty warm.
and it was like what did it say? It said how many kilometers it was to downtown, and I was like, "Ooh, we're gonna get lost."
Hey,
I was like, "Not a clue."
In college, when we drove to Ontario, man, to Toronto, holy cow!
Mm-hmm.
It said 100 was the speed limit, and that's kph. That's not miles per hour. So, yeah, that's actually like close to 50 miles an hour instead of miles. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, like, I don't know if I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of things about the ship that's different before I get into the ports and stuff.
I know there's
no guys burger. This is going to be a really controversial take, but man, the OG Carnival burgers, way better than guys burgers. I ate those every day. They're thicker patties. They're delicious. I was getting like double pattied. I was having a great time with those burgers. They had the same fries. The other side with the burritos and stuff, that was all the same ingredients, same everything.
No one cares about
nothing changed there. So
no one cares about the burritos. So yeah, no one cares about
well, no one cares. Well, then I'll move on. I will say also C-Day brunch. they had the better banana cream pie. So it seems like
Cool.
Carnival has heard the complaints of the many, many listeners, and this gelatin bowl that they were trying to serve us the last few years is gone, and they've gone back to a better
Banana cream
version.
pie.
So, dude, that was a travesty that they were trying to like pass off banana cream pie that came out of a Jello box or something. But
That's all banana cream pie is
shush.
pudding, banana pudding.
This was
with
literally gelatin, not even pudding. It was gelatin. So,
yeah.
well, other than that, though, the not many changes than other Carnival ships. It didn't have too many bells and whistles. When it comes to amenities, there was no extra things like the. Well, yeah, there was a nice spa.
You like the spa room?
I did like the spa room. It didn't have like an IMAX theater.
Yeah.
Or it didn't have anything had a tiny arcade. Didn't have any games of chance that were to like you get the tickets.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Actual video
but it did have a lot of video games, which I like. I appreciate.
Yeah.
But I know that other people appreciate the other games as well. It had a few claw machines. They were all rigged. I didn't win anything. So really tried to, man.
Of course you did. But
Yeah.
they're all rigged.
Well, I usually walk away with at least one stuffed animal, and I did not. I got one picked up, and it dropped it at the top. I was so mad. So mad. Megan said she's very disappointed in me.
Okay,
I'm lucky to be here.
Listen, Megan needs to stop interjecting unless she's going to be on the show. That's the only way. You know?
Yeah, Megan,
Just
you
saying.
need to stop interjecting unless you're going to be on the show.
I don't have makeup on.
And she said no makeup.
You'll look beautiful no matter what.
Yeah, you look beautiful no matter what. She said that's the nicest thing she's heard today. But I don't think she's coming. But yeah,
I mean, did you bring it up that she's been on Amanda and Josh's show more than hours to her?
I know she has. But if you count her yelling from the other room, I mean, she's been on our show a few times.
All right, go back. I'm sorry.
Well, and I don't know. So no like super amenities or nothing like that. But overall, it's a great ship. If you were choosing to go to Alaska or go to Australia or wherever the ship is, and it is the option or a option, I would cruise on this ship again. It's just, it is what it is. Honestly, if I were to go back to Alaska, my first choice would be the Spirit. But if this was my only choice, then it's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
You're on the ship. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. The circuit that we did, we went to Ketchikan, we went to Skagway, we went to Juneau. So we went to Juneau, and then we went to Victoria in Canada, and all the stops were a lot of fun. We went whale watching in Juneau, and we actually I think the captain of our boat had like a little like crap his pants moment, because he tries to get us within like 100 feet of the whales.
Yeah.
And they stop moving the boats because they don't want to hit them, and they also don't want, like any danger. Well, we were probably 20 feet from a whale, like comes up and like tail everything. And like the guy, he was like, this is literally the closest I've ever gotten. He like emergency shut off his boat because he didn't want to hit it or anything. And it had a calf right there with it. So he was like really trying to trying to be careful, basically. So the Amanda Barmore got great video footage. I'm stealing
Yeah,
from
I saw that.
from this.
Those videos are awesome.
Yeah. Yes. We saw, I think they said like 5 to maybe 8 whales total. They were not entirely sure how many. One of the whales, one of the calves, does not have a name yet. He said in order to be the person to name the whale, you have to get the picture of its tail. And once you get that tail photo, no two tails are alike. So that's like a fingerprint. And so you can then name the whale at that point.
So how do they know while you're still on there that it hasn't been pictured before?
Because they register the name. There's a government entity that keeps track of that. So they go through, and he said that. Oh, hang on, I gotta let Minion in. Come on. This may be the last day I record in this room. I'm getting the other room set up.
Nice.
So if they got to get a photo of it, they register the photo of the tail, and then you can register a name. So you could tell like the people that had been naming whales for the last few years, because one of them was SpongeBob. One of them was Voldemort, I think. No, Snape. Snape was his name. There was Ron and Hermione. There was
just a bunch of fans.
Yes. Lots of Harry. Yes, SquarePants. It wasn't SpongeBob. It was called the ones that one was SquarePants. So I thought it was great.
Anyway,
Yes, and then I was going to name, if I got the one, it's good to name one Buddha or Jennifer, and then spell it crazy. So I was depending if it was a boy or a girl. So, but it is what it is. So I did not get the photo that clearly showed a baby's tail, but it is pretty cool. We got to see so many. He said that there's sometimes they only go out and they only see like one, but we actually had a pretty good group. So, and let me see. We did the white, the train, the white pass train. We did it last year, and it was all snow.
Yeah.
And so we want to do it again this year to see it when it was like more during the summertime, and to kind of see how that was. And it felt like a different trip. A lot of different things you get to see, and you get to see just a tad bit more than you do when it's all snowy. So it was kind of cool. And then I'm trying to think. We went to the Red Onion Saloon, and we had a duck fart shot, and that was interesting.
Those are awful.
It wasn't bad, actually. This tasted like a cookie. Yeah. So
okay, that's not the way I've had a duck fart. A duck fart is, from where I've gotten it, has been disgusting.
I've got the photo.
I mean,
so let me
it's 151 and some other type of liquor mixed together in a shot, and that was god awful. It was kind of like a Smurf fart, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, let me pull this up. Oh, wait. I got it wrong. It's called a reindeer fart.
That makes a difference.
Reindeer fart. Yes. See, Kahlua, Bailey's, peppermint shots. So, it was good. So we got pizza there, which was nice.
Go to Alaska for pizza, really?
Yeah, well, they got famous pizza there, so there you go.
Did you go to
Megan's
that
being
bar
as loud as she can off to the side.
Did you go to that bar that OP went to was working at last year?
That who? Oh no, we didn't
Bartender?
go there. No, we didn't make it over there. Yeah, we had limited time at some of these stops. So I was trying to think and that was in Ketchikan, what you're talking about. Last year when we were in Ketchikan, that's when that fire happened and the town just like lost power while we were there. So like we did a lot of shopping and stuff, but we didn't, like, part of it kind of got ruined because we couldn't like actually use credit cards and stuff like that. So this
you
time,
could use cash. I mean, it is America.
You could, but you had to have had the cash on you. But we went through and we did some shopping, ate some food, and basically walked the whole place. But what was it? I will say, being that it was FRGC, Amanda Barmore and Josh and them, they did a fantastic job kind of putting together some things for everybody to do, and kind of like doing some events and doing some stuff that we all kind of got to do together. So we did the whale watching together, which was fun. Okay, and it made it a lot more affordable.
I know that they like to do at least one excursion with the entire group. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like some people split off. Like Josh went and they did fishing, deep sea style fishing. There was fishing for salmon, but I don't know. It was a blast, and we got to meet with a lot of people. Like I said, Steven and his wife. We got to meet Gerald, who he made it a point to let me know that he listens to this show every Saturday morning.
Yeah, he told me that too. Gerald was the only fan that you gave the phone to.
I know. And what's funny is I handed it to him and I just walked away. I was done. I was like, he's got it.
I had to put my Louisiana translators in just to make sure I understood what he was saying.
Yeah, great people. Him and his wife, they're a hilarious couple, and absolutely adore them. And so I meant to give you my phone number too. I didn't. So we were gonna meet up with them the next day, but our on the last day when we were getting off the ship, but we kind of got off earlier than we initially planned.
Gerald, Trevor's phone number is 867-5309.
Yes, so give that a call, and you'll definitely get a hold of me. But I'm terrible with my phone anyways, but Chris and Tiffany, who live here in Oklahoma, they actually live, what's funny is Chris and them, they live like 15-20 minutes away from me, and they were laughing because like in order to meet we had to go all the way to Seattle. Which is hilarious. But they have a really awesome family and friends. And they had a nice little clan there, and I hope they had a good time. They looked like they did. It was nice meeting everybody and just kind of connecting with people that do listen to us. And so I know that Steven and his wife have booked FRGC4 already, and I think I'm committing to that one. That's going to be September, I believe. But to speak on that. I'm hoping either next week or the week after we can have the Barmores on, and so we can talk about some more FRGC3 and also
because we're talking. We got
the
a
other
year and a
stuff as
half
well.
right now until that cruise. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good one. So if you guys are interested in cruising with me and Megan and possibly Tom, I'm not gonna speak for him, but
I'll speak
I'm
now. I'm
pretty.
going. I'm going. I'm going.
Oh, you're going?
I'm
Okay.
going. I'm going. I'm going. I'm going.
All right.
I'm going.
Well, I'm definitely doing it, and so I'm gonna put it down, and so we.
Unless I die in the next year and a half, I'm going.
There you go. There you go. Me too. So, but, well, I'm trying to think of other things to talk about on this cruise.
So, never mind. I can't remember. Oh, did you guys go like Glacier Park or whatever, Glacier National Forest or whatever it is? No,
I don't think so. You know, like Glacier Bay?
yeah, I think that's it.
Or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
No, that was on. We went there, I think, on our last cruise. Now we went up Tracy Arm Fjord, but with.
I'm a helper.
She's not a helper. So we were gonna go up Tracy Arm Fjord, but it was too ice packed. And so we had to go up another part and look at the same glacier from another point. Now, I got some photos of that, and I'll post a lot of photos in our Facebook group as well. But I don't know, like the Tracy Arm is pretty cool. Not Tracy. We went there last. We went through Tracy Arm last year. This was similar, but less wildlife. We did see a moose, which was pretty incredible.
You saw a moose?
Yeah, we saw a moose from the ship. You could see it on land. It was in its own little area, and Amanda spotted it before anybody, which was kind of cool. And I zoomed in on it, got a really good photo. It kind of looks like one of those Bigfoot photos because it's so far away. I took it with my phone.
Are you sure you weren't using one of the 30-year-old phones you just bought, or the digital video camcorder you just bought?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. No. But the other thing was I put something to the test, and if I can, I'm gonna have this spliced into the show here. I actually tested some stuff, and this was interesting because one thing I was a little worried about was if I cruise, and one thing it says on the website, you have to have a passport that goes 6 months from the time of your sailing. So my passport expires in October. So that's like 5 months versus, 6 months.
May,
so
June, August, September, October. Yeah, that's 5 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a little worried about it. And so I was like, well, they're either going to say something or not. But I had my birth certificate and everything ready to go in case I needed it. And so I put it to the test. I gave it to them. They looked at the dates. They looked at everything. And they let me through. They didn't care. So, but I did did make a little video on that. Actually, I may not splice it into this show. I may just post it on our Facebook group. So if you want to see it, go there. Anyways, anything you got to add, Mr. Kennedy?
No, not on your cruise, but I do. Something that was brought up on John's page, and you kind of
Yeah.
touched on it. One of John's complainers. What the hell is that? One of the people who complains on John's page said that they should take out, some of the bars and put in a 400 to 500 book library on all the ships. Do you believe?
What?
Yeah. I mean,
Who's
I
gonna
don't.
use it, dude? The library that was on this ship seated like 4 people, and I only saw one person in there that wasn't myself in there.
That was your wife.
We had games.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was like there was this dude that was playing video games on his laptop that he was probably kicked out of the room because his wife was napping, and he was in there playing video games. Dude, like seriously, like nobody was using the library. And they, what's cool though is I noticed like on the ships they've been packing the libraries with books, like newer and multiple of the same books. So I don't know if they've got like a bunch of bargain specials or what, but they were pretty relevant and newer and nicer books that you can kind of go through and read and take out on the ship or do whatever. But who wants to coop up in the library all the time? I mean, like, dude, if you're gonna read a book, you're gonna want to do that out on deck.
Exactly. Well, I mean, they said you can check out, for book that you can check out. But who, honestly, there's so much other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then take the chance of them not having a book that you want to read. Just bring your own book or e-reader or book on audio book.
Yeah,
or something.
no. Oh, and I get what you're saying. I get what their complaint is. They want more of a variety of books.
No, they want
more to choose
because
from?
they aren't putting libraries on any of the newer ships.
Well, that's ridiculous. You can't make everybody happy.
I
But you also can't cater to 2% of the people that might go on a cruise that would appreciate that. Out of like the 98% of the people that want another damn bar. So I don't know, man.
There's already a lot of bars on the ship, and half of them don't have anyone in it, going up to them,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like
I don't know, man.
There's a bar, the XL class ships, that's just outside of the veterans place. I can't remember what it's called. Just outside of there, and I never once saw a person there, and it was always, every time I went over there, and whenever it was like at night at like 9 o'clock, it was closed. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's so many bars that they can't get any business.
Sometimes, yeah. No, if there's not a band in there, sometimes the Red Frog will be that way. But I also think that depending on the ship, if they're putting like music in those areas, doing live stuff in there, that draws people into those bars. Yeah. And so I think some of that.
Well,
I think some of that is important too.
I've always enjoyed the Red Frog pub. The tiki bar.
Yeah. I like that.
That's iffy, but sitting and enjoying a beer at the pub was where it was at. On the Dream Class ships. So
right.
But they're taking those off too and replacing them with the tiki bar.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It just is what it is. I hope they don't. I don't know. I hope they keep adding to, but also like there's a few things that are good staples. I hope they don't remove them all.
Yeah,
but
things like the Havana bar
is what it is. Yeah. And I like the Havana bar, but there are nights that we were on some of those ships that it was completely dead. But I will say that there's nights that they have like dance parties, and it is like you can't even get to the bar that's so thick of people. So,
Yeah.
But and the one on the Havana bar on the Luminosa,
Yeah.
holy crap, dude. The no, not Luminosa. It was the Venezia. The Venezia. That ship, dude, that was a really cool bar. So they had that decorated pretty darn cool. But anyways, well, I've got nothing else to really add. I will say overall, FRGC 3, I will give it a 1 out of 10. Absolutely would do again. So
That'd be a 10 out of 10 would do again.
no. Remember, we did
No,
the opposite.
it would be 10 out of 10 would not do again.
Would not again.
Recommend.
Yes.
Would not recommend.
Would not recommend. Again. Yeah, so it would be 1 out of 10. Would recommend.
Would not. Oh, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
I was the one who made it.
Would not do again. 10 out of 10 would not do again means it's bad.
No, would do again. 10 out of 10, you would do again.
You've forgotten already. I can't believe you.
I was the one who made it. Anyway, on that note.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. On that note, just know that you're unique, you're special, and you're loved.
And anything that happens on the ship stays on YouTube. Bye.
Bye-bye.